However wise or however mighty a person may be, he is like a ship without a rudder if he is without God. For God is the maker of life. But not too long ago, some one percenters, including Bill Gates, even Kamala Harris, said that the world has way too many people. So in reality, they plan to kill a lot of people. So how do a lot of people die? A major world war. So what if you found out that the same partakers of the war are really in cahoots with each other? So let's watch. Everything is staged.
Everything is staged. Look at the Iranian parliament and compare it to the 2025 Oscars stage. We see the same Masonic symbolism. Movies are scripted, but so is politics. You see actors on stage, but who's writing the script?
I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government.
You're the one who plays.
Albert Pike, a 33rd degree Freemason, predicted it back in 1871. The Third World War will be triggered so that Islam and Israel destroy each other. A planned war designed to exhaust nations and impose a global Luciferian religion. This chaos was encoded long ago. The number 33 and the pyramid are the signatures of Freemasonry. Even George Washington was a member, but at the top, it's not God you find, it's Baphomet. The house.
So who were the pagans? So won't a pagan follow Satan? So let's watch. After Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came from the land of Kittim, defeated Darius, king of the Persians and the Medes. In other words, king of Iran, Iraq, and Syria. So he succeeded him as king. So now Persia and the Medes are under Greeks, along with Rome. So Rome became a kingdom of the Greeks, along with Jerusalem. So they built a gymnasium in Jerusalem according to the Gentile customs. They plundered the land of Egypt. So now Egypt is under them. Then they fortified the city of David with a great strong wall and strong towers. So Jerusalem became an ambush against the sanctuary and an evil adversary of Israel continually, even on to this day. Why? Because the residents of Jerusalem fled, and she became a dwelling of strangers. She became strange to her offspring. They sacrificed idols and profaned the Sabbath. So the people will forget the laws and change all the ordinances. So it says, where the book of the covenant was found. Remember, the original Bible was not in an Old and New Testament format. Therefore, the book of the covenant was known as the book of the testament, for it was one testament. And it literally told you that Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya are going to join up together in the latter days. So after many days thou shalt be visited in the latter years. Thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, against the mountains of Israel. In other words, they're going to be in Ethiopia. And there they will find Sheba, with all the young lions thereof. And she will ask them, art thou come to take a spoil? Hast thou gathered thy company to take a prey, to carry away silver and gold? In other words, Russia and their army from the north are going to come into Ethiopia. And they're all part of the same Greek kingdom. So let's watch.
The House of the Temple in Washington has 33 columns, each 33 feet tall, with a pyramid and a double-headed eagle, the same eagle used by the Russian Empire. Yet they make you believe they're on opposing sides. The Israeli Supreme Court, again, a pyramid donated by the Rothschilds. And once more, the Iranian Parliament, a pyramid with 33 windows. Coincidence? I don't think so. After all, who owns the world? BlackRock, the Black Cube, just like the Islamic Kaaba, Jewish Kabbalah, or Trump Tower. All aligned around the same symbol. And what do you find at the center of a Masonic lodge? A black cube, the cube of Saturn. A master mason knows the script. The others just follow it. And as long as you pick a side, you're doing exactly what they want you to do.
You become one of them. So let's watch. Know this.
First and foremost, the world is in fact a stage. You are looking at actors and actresses that are playing the part of leaders. And we are unwitting participants. It is a stage. The entire world is a stage. Nothing is real. Your freedoms aren't real. You've been enslaved by lies. There's a global government that's running everything. We control the media, we control the textbooks, and you're essentially just a patient.
Remember, it's supposed to be 430 years of slavery, so it's not going to end till 2049. So let's see who went against the Most High.
England and France abandoned Ethiopia to Mussolini.
England and France. And who are they? Cousins to each other.
This was taken 4 years before World War I, and these are 9 kings. It might be the only photo in existence of 9 kings ever taken. Not only were all these guys friends, but a lot of them were related. And I'm not just talking about distant relatives. The heads of Russia, Germany, and the UK were first cousins. These two guys could be...
So Russia and the UK are first cousins. So when you speak of the UK, you're literally speaking of America and Canada. Remember who their allies were during World War II. So they were allies during World War II. So what makes you think that they're going against each other today? Hello.
Twins. This is Tsar Nicholas of Russia and King George of Britain, and they may as well be brothers. They were frequently mistaken for each other at weddings and events. After this photo was taken, 4 of these monarchies would cease to exist. One of these leaders would be assassinated, and 20 million people would die because of these guys' egos. Many of them grew up together or shared a grandmother, and when the war started, some of them tried to cover up these connections.
So who loses the war? They never lose. They never lose. Their family always wins. Just in the end, you're dying because you're a nationalist or you're down with a religion. When in fact, if you look at the countries that's under the Greek, they have 3 major religions. They have Jewish, they have Catholics, and they have Muslims. You have BRICS, you have US, you have everything mixed in one. They're all the same.
Like the UK royal family today is known as the House of Windsor. That changed in World War I. Before that, they were the House of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha, but that sounded way too German when they were literally fighting the Germans. Like, oh, can't have everyone, associating me with my cousin.
Hello. So let's watch. Know who Seleucus is? Seleucus is the king of Asia. And if you don't know who Seleucus is, he's part of the Greek kingdom, and he married the queen of Syria. Him and his son married the same queen of Syria. So what does Ethiopia warn you about? Ethiopia let you know in their original tongues, woe be unto thee Babylon and Asia, woe be unto thee Egypt and Syria. Why? Because they're all in cahoots with each other, because they're all part of the same kingdom. So let's watch. And if you don't know about China, you need to know this now, ASAP. Hello.
Under 500 million.
Under 500 million.
Mm-hmm.
So you think that they have a very similar population to the United States and China?
Yes.
Wow.
There's 1 billion people missing.
And this goes back to what we were saying in the beginning or earlier in the podcast with all of the fake IDs and all of this stuff being found out.
Yeah, there's possibly 1 billion people missing. It's not a demographic question, Danny. It's a mathematical question. Let me ask you. It takes a couple to have 2 children to replace themselves, right? Think about it.
Yes.
If every couple produces 2 children,
the population stinks level.
Right. So, do you know how many children does every woman needs to have in her lifetime in order to triple its population in 50 years?
To triple its population in 50 years, you need to have what?
In other words, China was known for having 500 million people. Then in 50 years, they claimed they had almost 1.5 billion people. And anyway, lies. And if you don't know, Syria had 7 Roman Catholic popes. Just like BRICS, you will find Brazil, Russia, India, China, and Ethiopia and Iran. Remember what Ezekiel 38 says. Persia and Ethiopia are going to join up to the end of times in the latter years. In other words, follow Jah, not man. Jah God.